Hello everyone and welcome to a very special edition of Husky Faceoff powered by the St. Cloud State Alumni Association. My name is Nick Maxon. We have quite the show for you Huskies fans as we will prepare you for the first round of the NCHC Frozen Faceoff action between your St. Cloud State Huskies and the Colorado College Tigers. Let's get it started. With a season that had so many questions, St. Cloud State has finished the season with a 15-9 record. The Huskies gave themselves a chance to win every single night as they averaged almost 3.5 goals per game and only allowed 2.5 per game to their opponents. This team has been really fun to watch all season long, and we have seen huge wins against rivals, a 4-goal game performance, and new records set all in a span of just 3 months. Taking a look at the leading scorers for the Huskies, it's the Flying Finn freshman Vetti Miettinen that has led the way for the Cardinal Black with his 10 goals and 13 assists, totaling a team lead with 23 points. Nick Perbix was not far behind though as he finished the season with 19 points respectively. Moving over to the goaltending, head coach Brett Larson has utilized all 3 goaltenders on the roster this season. In his senior year, David Rennick has been the Huskies' #1 netminder, playing in 20 games, posting a 12-8-0 record while carrying a .907 save percentage. Jackson Castor saw 5 games and had a final record of 3-0-0, tallying a .914 save percentage. And topping off the goaltenders, Joey Lamoureux played in 2 games for St. Cloud State. He finished with an 0-1-0 record and an .808 save percentage. Now at the end of the regular season, let's take a look at the NCHC conference standings. North Dakota took home the Penrose Cup for the 2nd straight year. St. Cloud State and UMD were neck and neck all season long, but following a 4-3 Huskies overtime win against the Bulldogs on Saturday, the Huskies secured 2nd place while UMD locked itself into 3rd. It should be noted that the Huskies exceeded expectations as they were projected to finish 4th in the conference in the preseason polls. However, Omaha was the team that shocked the college hockey world as well as head coach Mike Gabinet led the Mavericks to the end of the season 4th in the standings. Denver, a little bit of a down year for them, finishing the season landing in 5th, and the Broncos have been a thorn in the side of many NCHC teams, finished 6th. Colorado College and Miami round up the standings, coming in 7th and 8th respectively. Taking the standings into the NCHC Frozen Faceoff will be #1 North Dakota and #8 Miami, and #2 SCSU and #7 Colorado College in day 1 of tournament action. This gives the first 2 seeds the potential of an extra day off before the semifinals. The second half of the quarterfinals will be #3 Minnesota Duluth against #6 Western Michigan, and the final matchup will be between #4 Nebraska Omaha and #5 Denver University. The semifinals will take place Monday the 15th and the championship game the following day on the 16th. The NCHC playoffs might look a little different than in years past since the conference's inaugural season back in 2013 and 2014. Rachel Herzog has the details of this year's unique tournament format.
Last season, the NCHC playoffs were abruptly cut short due to COVID-19, disappointing the hockey community. In 2021, a new format has been reborn, and the NCHC is in high spirits.
We're just trying to do the best we can to get it done and give the kids an opportunity to play, right? Is it perfect? No, but I think it gives us the best opportunity to have a playoff and keep playing. So just like we taught our guys all year, whatever's best for us to just be able to play, then let's get it done.
In a pre-COVID NCHC playoff setting, the top 4 teams would host the bottom 4 in the 3-game series quarterfinals. Now in the era of pods, all 8 teams will travel to North Dakota for a single elimination tournament for the first time in NCHC history.
This year's an obscure year. It's going into single elimination into one site. Before it was top 4 teams host, and we know how much it takes to go on the road, being there 3 weeks in Omaha. We're looking forward to being in Grand Forks here for the playoffs.
The one-and-done conference playoffs will be a good taste of what teams will experience in the NCAA tournament.
It's definitely different than years in the past, but it just shows guys that, you can't take a single shift off. There's nights where obviously things won't go your way, but you still gotta be out there and you still gotta compete every single second.
You can lose to anyone. There's a reason why everyone's Division I. We're all really good hockey players, and everyone deserves to be there.
We're definitely getting used to the old one game and done. So it's something that we're not used to right now, but come down the stretch, we got to get used to it pretty fast.
We've seen everyone in this league can beat anyone else in this league on any given night, and so if you have an off day, you're gonna lose and you're gonna be done. So we just got to be ready to go from day 1.
As the regular season winds down, teams are forced to quickly adapt to the intensity of a single elimination tournament where only the strong will survive.
Kind of that one and done shot right now. It's that mentality of every game matters the most. you need to take care of that one and move on to the next one. And there is some pressure in that. And I think it's good to have this format going down the stretch because you have to be able to handle that pressure, you have to be able to perform and even thrive under it.
Joining us now is Mick Hatton from the Rink Live. Mick, thank you for joining us. Mick, what has been the biggest improvement for the Huskies so far this season?
I'd say the biggest thing that they've improved on is their offense. I mean, if you look up and down their lineup, they've been more productive. They're deeper, I think, offensively than they were last season. I think overall they've been more consistent throughout the season. They were a little too up and down. I think the first half of last season kind of came on the second half of last season, and then that's kind of carried over with a little bit older group this season, and that's been a big part of their success.
And Mick, I have to ask you, freshman forward Vetti Mietten has been a rock star for this Huskies team all season long on offense. What makes him such a special player?
Well, I think anytime you get a guy that is as dangerous on a shift-to-shift basis as Mietten is, you're going to get a spark out of that. He's somebody that with the way he shoots the puck, he's dangerous from no matter where he is. So that a lot of times is going to open up ice for the other guys that are out on the ice with him at the time. And he's not just a one-dimensional guy. I mean, he's a very good passer. He's a very good skater. He's added an awful lot to them offensively.
And Mick, we do have to talk about coaching. Brett Larson is in his third season as head coach. How would you rate how he's continued to build this program since he took over just a few seasons ago for then head coach Bob Motzko?
I think we're starting to see, some of the players that he's recruited started to come in. So, Jared Cockrell and Seamus Donahue. I mean, those are a couple of big pickups, that are guys that kind of fit, I think, his mold of guys that he'd like to see in the program. I think one of the big things I think with Coach Larson is that he's a very adaptable coach. You look at a guy like Nick Perbix, who he gives an awful lot of free rein to with how he plays defensively, but at the same time, he's a guy that cares a great deal about how they play defensively overall, and I think he's a high detail guy, and I think we're seeing more and more of that, as we're getting a couple years into him being in charge of this program.
Another one here, Mick. The Huskies ended the regular season with 3 one-game weekend series. How does that help the team prepare for themselves for the newly revised format for this year's NCHC Frozen Faceoff?
Well, I think it's a great preparation actually for all of the postseason because it's one and done in the tournament, either the conference tournament or the NCAA tournament. So I think it's been a great preparation for them. You've got to make sure that you're focused, throughout the week on what you're doing, and bring it on that one night, and that's what it's going to come down to right now. I mean, they've had a lot of taste of that, a lot more taste of that actually than they have in past years, just because of the weirdness of this schedule. But I think it's a great preparation, and the weird, start times. I mean, a lot of times, when you get to the NCAA tournament, that's a big thing because you don't know what time of day you're going to be starting a playoff game there. So I think it's been good for St. Cloud State. I think it'll help them in the long run.
Thank you very much, Mick. Always a pleasure to have you on. This year's senior class of Huskies is a big one, and they certainly have played a role not only on the ice for St. Cloud State, but outside of the Brooks Center as well. 3 seniors served as captains for SCSU this season, and 4 were named NCHC Scholar athletes. Throughout the broadcast this afternoon, Husky Faceoff will detail the career, impact, and character of all 8 of the Huskies seniors. We will start with our first senior of the night, Tyler Anderson. Tyler is the perfect example of a student athlete, as he will graduate with a biomedical science major through his time at St. Cloud State. Rachel Herzog has more.
Growing up in Canada, the game of hockey runs through your veins. And this was no exception for Tyler Anderson.
Growing up playing hockey in Winnipeg was fun, and played with all my friends growing up. I ended up playing junior hockey in Manitoba and was lucky enough to receive an offer to come play here at St. Cloud State, and honestly it was the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Over the past 4 years as a Husky, it's Tyler's passion and true character that will forever be commemorated.
He's a guy that just cares so much about his teammates. Character comes first. He's a guy you trust every single day, and I can't say enough about the kid.
Tyler played for a guy in junior hockey named Paul Dick, and he told me that Tyler Anderson is one of the most special human beings he's ever been around and had a chance to coach, and he's lived up every bit to that. He's character's through the roof. The type of teammate he is through the roof. He would do anything for any one of those guys in that room, and that's what makes him so special.
Being a part of the Husky community, Tyler is humbled by his growth through the influences of his coaches and teammates.
I've played with such great people. I've had such great coaches that have pushed me to be better every day, not only on the ice but off the ice. I feel like I've become a better leader. I've become more mature. I've become more caring, and just learning what it takes to win on and off the ice, and that's being a champion every day.
As Tyler prepares to say goodbye to St. Cloud State, his Husky family is proud and encouraged by his bright future that lies ahead.
Whatever he does in life, when he's going to medical school or going to be a doctor, he's gonna be that guy whose success will follow him.
Anderson is certainly a class act and represents the university very well with a lot of pride. When we come back, we'll take a look at the Huskies' dominant start to the delayed season down in the Omaha Pod. So much more right here on Husky Faceoff.
Like most Minnesota natives, playing hockey is considered a normality. But for Luke Jaycox, it was his calling.
I grew up in Warroad, Minnesota, kind of known as Hockeytown, USA, so it was, just normal to get into hockey when I was younger, and I, played Warroad all the way through high school, played a little bit of juniors in Lincoln, Nebraska, and then was lucky enough to get a scholarship to come play here for the Huskies.
Whether it was in the locker room or on the ice, Luke's legacy will be remembered as being a consummate teammate.
He's the warrior, right? He's that guy that's going to block shots, he's going to defend, he's going to hit, and you just love having a guy like that on your bench.
Luke's he's a heart and soul kid. He wears it on his sleeve every day. You know where he stands, and that's always 100 miles an hour with him. He's willing to do whatever it takes to win, and his teammates buy into that, and they feed off that. And he's a special person.
Reflecting on his time as a Husky, it's not about the Penrose Cup championships or the minutes clocked on the ice, but the growth and the bonds he has made with his teammates that he will cherish forever.
Every day we're making memories and making jokes, so all those guys helped me to mature and become the person I am today.
The anticipation is mounting for the start of the NCHC Frozen Faceoff hosted in Grand Forks by the University of North Dakota. You can see the countdown to puck drop on the ticker, and the St. Cloud State dance team is joining the festivities as they look excited for today's game. And here's the St. Cloud State Sports Band playing us back from break. Let's hear it, gang. The NCHC season began in December down in Omaha, Nebraska. The Huskies entered unranked in the national polls, but came back to St. Cloud ranked 6th. I had the story from a December to remember from Omaha, Nebraska.
This past December, Huskies hockey finally returned with the NCHC pod in Omaha, Nebraska.
We believe we're playing in the top conference college hockey. We believe it from our commissioner, who was able to pull off something really special, and everybody behind the scenes that worked at putting that pod together. He put his neck out there and probably took some risks and was able to get it done. And I think from the people that watched it, I can only imagine how they felt watching it, because I thought it looked like mid-season, intense, hard hockey every single game. And I think it showed that our league really is the top league in college hockey.
Despite not playing a game since March, the Huskies hockey team picked up right where they left off.
Yeah, right away. I mean, from the first drop of the puck, I noticed how good the play was. And if you took a night off, you were going to get exposed, even just a shift. So bringing it every night, every shift, every time you touch the ice was important. And it's not so much a challenge as a treat. That's what you want as a hockey player, that competition. So.
Playing a schedule identical to the National Hockey League, it meant that the Huskies needed a different approach to have success in the pod.
I mean, yeah, you always got to take into consideration that you have however many 9 games in 21 days or whatever it was. So, I mean, there's definitely a toll on your body that you have to take into consideration. But I mean, we made the most of it. We got our bodies loose. We did every right thing that we needed to do to get our bodies in the right state of mind for our games.
St. Cloud State emerged as a top 10 team in the country after their 9 games in Nebraska, but the season is still far from over.
6-3 would have been a goal for us coming out of that pod. Would have been very happy with it, but it really was only a stepping stone. We need to keep getting better from here. We talked to our team about having a little bit of confidence and swagger coming out of the pod, but also a humility knowing that we have to keep getting better.
For the players on this team, their experience inside the pod will be one to add to their own personal memory books and to share with future Huskies alike.
I don't think we'll ever experience anything like it. Hopefully we won't. But it was cool to have that experience and be able to talk to whoever we can in the future, kind of explain it. And no, it was a great experience, and we're fortunate to be able to play in this tough times.
Hey SCSU alumni, friends, and fans of the Huskies. Thanks so much for joining us for Husky Faceoff 2021, powered by the SCSU Alumni Association. Did you know that if you're a St. Cloud State alum, you're a member of the Alumni Association automatically? So come on, join us on social media so we can keep you up to date and you can stay connected to your alma mater. We're at Facebook on SCSU Alumni, Twitter at SCSU Grad, and Instagram at SCSU Alumni. And while you're at it, update your information with us at stcloudstate.edu/alumni/update, and we'll keep you up to date on events like Homecoming 2021 coming in October. Go Huskies!
Senior Kevin Fitzgerald scored the first goal of the season for the Huskies down in Omaha, less than 3 minutes into the game against Western Michigan. Here is more on the senior from Illinois.
Growing up in Chicago, Illinois, Kevin Fitzgerald's love of hockey dates back as long as he can remember.
Yeah, it's just been a huge part of my life ever since I was a little kid. First started out on rollerblades in Chicago. But yeah, I mean, just playing out as a kid, learning to skate and stuff like that. And I just kind of fell in love with it immediately. Knew it was something that I really wanted to do.
Presented with a unique opportunity, Fitzgerald donned the Cardinal in black and never looked back.
Coming to St. Cloud, yeah, I originally chose to come to St. Cloud because it was the only school that would let me come here. And so yeah, I mean, I've had a blast. I'm so happy that I've been here and got to spend the past 4 years here.
Fitzgerald has been instrumental in the Huskies' recent success, and as he departs, he'll take memories with him that will last a lifetime.
Yeah, this program in school has really meant everything to me. It's been my home really for the past 4 years. I've got to play with some great players and some great people too. Definitely gonna miss hockey here, but just some of the memories I've made at the rink with the guys and away from the rink, I'll miss just as well.
His talent is evident on the ice, but Kevin's attitude and personality are essential qualities of a great teammate.
The guys really feed off him and his energy. It's a positive energy that he brings every day. He plays that way as well. He plays hard. He never takes a shift off. The guys can rely on him. And he's a guy that, you know, there's certain guys that just bring a positive energy to the team, and he's one of them.
Now joining us is St. Cloud State University Athletic Director Heather Weems. Heather, it's been quite a year for everyone, but what has it taken to get championship competition back for student athletes here at SCSU?
I think especially this year this week it's so pertinent because it was actually a year ago that everything was canceled and we began seeing championships at the conference level and the national level be called off. And so in reflection, to look at what it took to come back and to be playing this week is pretty incredible. The amount of time by athletics administrators, by coaches, by student athletes, and everything that they've done really since last March has really been about the competitive experience and giving our students an opportunity to play. And so when we started and kicked off really in August, there was still a lot of question as to what would actually occur. And our goal simply was to provide our students with as much opportunity at that point just to practice and to find some normalcy to their schedules so that eventually when and if competition came, we would be there. Fast forward another 6 months, and obviously as we got into October and November, really having conversations at the conference level, whether with the NCHC, the WCHA, the NSIC, about how that was going to happen. And again, I give credit to our coaches and to our student athletes. The testing that has been required, the protocols, the sacrifices in terms of seeing family and friends, and really spending a lot of time going from house to rink or gym to house without a whole bunch of other stuff has really been incredible. I'd also like to speak to about the incredible efforts of our athletic trainers, the new protocols that they've had to write and that they've had to implement, as well as anybody, whether it's facilities directors, whether it's our video folks, whether it's our sports information people. This has all been a year of adaptability. And so to be in this moment, I spoke earlier to President Wacker this week about what it means to be where we're at in playoffs, and with so many teams really getting into the end part of their seasons for the winter. It's just been an incredible sacrifice. It's been obviously challenging, and it's made us adapt in so many ways. But I think central to all of it has simply been to ensure that our students have a great opportunity and experience at St. Cloud State.
The men's hockey team faces off with Colorado College here this afternoon, but they are not the only squads competing right now. Can you tell us who else is competing for SCSU athletics?
So this week is really the big week for winter championships. Today we've got women's basketball playing in the regional in Missouri later tonight. Wrestling began its national championship actually in St. Louis today. They continue today and tomorrow, and obviously based upon our regional advancement of 8 out of the 10 weight classes, a really great opportunity again to repeat and to as national championships or as national champions, and really to have a great opportunity. Swimming and diving is in Alabama for their national championship. Obviously we've got hockey going on right now. Baseball and softball are in full swing, and track and field also qualified an athlete who will be competing next weekend. So this is really the culminating moment for all of our winter sports, and at the same time we're really starting to get our spring sports going as well.
And Heather, behind you is a brand new weight room facility that opened up this past fall. How did this come together, and how does this impact the student athletes here at SCSU?
The Grant and Carol Nelson Strength and Conditioning Center behind me is really a crown achievement for our Division II sports. That vision came about probably 3 years ago in conjunction with the foundation, the university's foundation. It was a conversation, where we were asked to submit what we thought were campaign priorities for each of our divisions. And to me, we had a great space in our Strength and Conditioning Center, but it was old and tired, to be honest. And as we were talking about it, to open it up, to give it some light and some windows, to redo, it got complete renovation to the walls, to the floors, to the equipment, to the fitness center equipment that we have. It really, to me, has been an incredible opportunity for our coaches and our student athletes. From a player development perspective, we now have the tools in place for them to come in as first years and really continue to develop and build as athletes over the course of their 4 4 years. For our coaches, from a recruiting perspective, from a pride and tradition perspective, you know, we worked hard in terms of the graphics. We worked hard to tell the story. We worked hard to make it a place of pride and a place where our students and our recruits and anyone, our fans and friends who haven't been in the building so much, but eventually will come back and see that we're in this for a great experience. We're in this to support our Division II athletes, and we want to give them the tools and resources to be successful at the highest level.
Ms. Weems, there is still a lot to accomplish this season, but is there anything you are looking forward to next fall?
I hope. I'm excited for normalcy, or at least more normalcy. I think that really now that we've got a year under our belts, we anticipate that there will still likely be some adjustments that we have to make going forward. But we know what the college experience is about. The college experience is about bringing students into a family and a community and engaging with the campus and engaging with faculty and with staff and with their peers. It's engaging with our fans and our corporate partners and our alumni and our donors. And so what am I looking forward to next year? It is hopefully the return of connection, the return of being able to feel like we are all part of something bigger and that we are all part of Husky Nation and that we're all working together to develop, to train, to energize, and really, again, to connect and make all of our lives a little bit more fun, a little bit more meaningful, and really make a difference in the community of St. Cloud.
And thank you very much, Heather. Always a pleasure to have you on. Just a reminder that this special edition of Husky Faceoff is powered by the St. Cloud State Alumni Association. We thank them for their generous support and all of them watching from afar. We wouldn't be here without all of them. Fans, now is your time to dust off the crystal ball for the first giveaway opportunity during this Husky Faceoff. Head over to Twitter at SCSU Huskies_MH to vote for who you think will light the lamp for the first St. Cloud State goal tonight against Colorado College. If he gets correctly, those will be put into a drawing for this St. Cloud State University hat. The only criteria is that you follow the SCSU men's hockey Twitter account. Good luck to all the Huskies fans. Speaking of goal scoring, Nolan Walker had one heck of a night to remember back in late January. Walker accomplished something that very few can do in any hockey game, and now Nolan Walker joins a club with a select group of hockey players.
The first to do it, Jeff Satterdahl, January 26, 1990, against Air Force Academy. Next was our own Mark Parrish, March 7, 1997, versus Wisconsin. February 15, 2002, Mark Hardigan did it again against Alaska Anchorage. Nearly 2 decades passed until Zach Okabe stopped the count against Mankato, December 28, 2019. We wouldn't have to wait 2 decades for it to happen a 5th time thanks to Nolan Walker. We only had to wait 393 days.
Takes a look. Now Walker walks to the high slot, scores! Wow.
Not one.
Walker fires and scores!
Not two.
Fakes the shot, now takes it, Pearson the same rebound and score! Walker with the hat trick!
Not 3, but 4.
In front and they score!
Number 4.
And number 4 for Nolan Walker. And Nolan Walker's having a night he'll never forget.
Last Saturday against Miami, Nolan Walker became the 5th Husky to score 4 goals in one game.
After he got his 3rd goal, I was on the bench. I was just kind of joking around with him to get 4, and he did, and I was really happy for him.
Give a lot of credit to my line mates. I don't know, I just kind of felt fortunate that night. I was finding the puck was just coming to me, and I was able to pop in 4.
Scoring 4 goals in a year would be a fine season. Scoring 4 goals in one game, Nolan Walker enters elite company.
It's awesome. Guys like Mark Parrish and Mark Hardigan, guys you look up to, and guys that played here before me, and I don't know, it's just cool to be put in the same sense as them.
The Nolly Bird, we call him the Nolly Bird. He's been awesome in the locker room, on the ice. He's such a skilled player. Super fast, he thinks the game really well, and he's been great for us.
I just think more than anything for him, it's a confidence builder. It's just the sign that, hey, he's working towards getting to where we all thought he could be and where he thinks he can be.
We often talk about getting the monkey off your back and opening the scoring floodgates. For Nolan Walker, not only did he open the floodgates, he broke the dam. With scoring like that, watching the Huskies close out this season is going to be very, very exciting.
In Walker's historic game against Miami, where he scored 4 and added an assist, he matched his stats from the first half of the season. Walker almost tripled his first half stats by scoring 13 points since the turn of the calendar year. One of Walker's frequent line mates this season has been Jared Cockrell. The grad transfer from Colgate University has added depth to an already talented roster. Sam Getzinger has more.
Growing up in Maine, Jared Cockrell followed in the strides of his father Larry into the game of hockey.
I started young. I started about when I was 3 years old. My dad played college hockey, Division III at Norwich University. I was into it right away, and it's been a part of my life since an early age, and as long as I can remember. And growing up, having my dad, he was a coach, and he coached me a lot through the years, and he was actually my high school coach. So, he set me up for success.
That success led him to his first stop in collegiate hockey at Colgate University, where he collected 52 points over his first 4 years. As they say, when one door closes, another opens, and this one led to St. Cloud State.
I can just tell here the support for the program, the community feeling, the culture on the team is it's just all really strong aspects of the program, and I'll never forget how welcoming the whole group was. It was just so easy, such a smooth transition for me from top to bottom, the whole team, but especially that senior class.
Even though Jared only donned the Cardinal and Black for a short time, his impact has already been made on the Husky program.
This is a kid that you want. You want Jared Cockrell in your program, and Jared's been an absolute home run for us in terms of the type of person he is.
Can't say enough good things about Jared. He's such a great guy off the ice, great player on the ice, so dedicated and such a hard worker, and it really rubs off on everyone, not just the younger guys.
Now here's Cockrell. Huskies trying to counter with a on-man rush, and he scores! Cockrell pulls it back and beats Austin Cade.
Husky fans, it's never too early to start thinking about ordering season tickets for next year. Reserve your seat in the Herd all season long to watch your Huskies play in the greatest conference in college hockey. Ticket renewal and enrollment will be here before you know it, and fans, you can expect it to open sometime this spring. And you certainly will want to grab your tickets to watch some of the best players in college hockey. Let's take a look at some of the accolades some players received during the regular season. Junior Nick Perbix was named Defenseman of the Week 3 times throughout the season. After his 4-goal game versus Miami, Nolan Walker was awarded the NCHC Forward of the Week. Freshman Veti Mietnin was voted NCHC Rookie of the Month in January. And finally, senior David Rennick was not only NCHC Goaltender of the Week during the course of the season, he also set the school record for shutouts with 11. David Rennick has impacted the Huskies ever since he came in as a freshman and solidified his name in Husky hockey history, passing Scott Meyer in career shutouts this season. Joey Eriksson has more on the Slovakian senior.
College hockey can be a foreign concept to a kid growing up in small-town Slovakia, but for David Rennick, it was another chapter in his journey.
Obviously, I'm happy that, it was Gibby and Coach Ruboin who started talking to me, and, once I get to know more about college hockey and, St. Cloud, obviously I thought it's just the best spot for me, which obviously I think it is.
The impact of David on the ice quickly established him as one of the best ever to strap on the pads for St. Cloud State.
He's had a very storied career here as one of the all-time winningest goalies in program history. And he's been a part of a lot of big runs and a lot of wins. So he's meant a lot to the program and obviously a special and unique kid.
2 Penrose Cups, most shutouts, second in all-time wins as a Husky. These accomplishments are only a part of what makes St. Cloud special to David Rennick.
This is really family first culture here, which makes it really, really special. And sometimes I think that's even more important than hockey.
He's a big part of the culture. If the fans don't really know him off the rink, he's got a smile on his face every day. He's in a good mood. He's excited. He brings energy. There's just a positive feeling around David all the time, and I know that rubs off on his teammates.
David's future with St. Cloud State may be near an end, but for now, It's about savoring every last moment.
I want to still focus on what's next here. That's what's happening right now, and I think that's the most important.
Rennick will be a key for the Huskies as they enter postseason play today in the NCHC Frozen Faceoff. For more on the Huskies' history in Frozen Faceoff, we'll go to Sam Getzinger, who is standing by at the Herb Brooks National Hockey Center with more. Sammy, what do you have for us?
Hey, thanks, Nick. As the NCHC starts to wrap up their 8th season of competition, that means we're getting closer to the Frozen Faceoff. And the Huskies, they've had a storied history in the conference postseason. Let's take a trip down memory lane and see how SCSU has done over the past couple of years. In 2014, that's when the Huskies started their inaugural season in the NCHC. They ended up winning the Penrose Cup that year. They didn't really muster a big run in the postseason as they fell to Miami, who would eventually be the runner-up in that Frozen Faceoff, who lost to Denver over at the XL Energy Center. So it was a tough year for the Huskies in 2014. But in 2015, the Huskies won 20 regular season games, and this time they made it to the finals down at the XL Energy Center. They beat Omaha in Nebraska in the first round, and then SCSU went on to beat North Dakota in the semifinals 3-1, and then they lost a heartbreaker to a common foe in Miami. It was a 3-2 final over there. Joey Bennick had 2 goals in the Frozen Faceoff to help them go in 2015. But 2016, that was a year to remember. They came in as the 2 seed. They won over 30 regular season games. They steamrolled their first 4 games. They swept Western Michigan in round 1. Then they took on Denver in the semis, beat them 4-2, and then they met the University of Minnesota Duluth in the finals. And it was Mikey Asamont helping out the Huskies with 3 goals in the Frozen Faceoff, 2 goals in the championship game. That would be the first time the Huskies won the Frozen Faceoff. And then after that, 2017, they lost in the first round. That was a year to forget as they lost in the first round to UND in 2017. But in 2018, they built off that tough year. They won the Penrose Cup. They made it to the finals once again. Then they lost to Denver 4-1 at the XL Energy Center, and Denver had a decent run in the national championships as well. Brothers Ryan and Nick Paling each had a goal in the Frozen Faceoff down at the XL Energy Center. That brought the Huskies to 2019. They won the Penrose Cup once again. They made it to the finals after a sweep against Miami in the first round. They went to the semifinal round at the XL Energy Center. It was a 5-2 win against Colorado College. And then the final saw probably one of the most exciting games in Frozen Faceoff history as they took on Minnesota Duluth. They lost in double overtime 3-2, but the California connection in those 2 games at the X were phenomenal. Robbie Jackson, Patrick Newell, 2 goals apiece. And that leads us to last year, 2020, a year to forget for everyone as the postseason was canceled due to COVID-19. Now this year, the Huskies will travel to the Ralph Engelstad Arena in North Dakota with the rest of the NCHC for a postseason unlike anything we've ever seen before. The Huskies will try to go for their 2nd Frozen Faceoff championship this season.
Thanks, Sam. We all are looking forward to Frozen Faceoff and the Huskies matchup against the Tigers of Colorado College. After the break, some special appearances from 2 alumni. All that and more next on Husky Faceoff.
In a town where hockey runs deep, it was natural for St. Cloud native Will Hammer to find the ice.
Got into hockey. My older brother played hockey, so I kind of followed in his footsteps. It's a game I've always loved. I think I've loved it the most growing up.
Growing up in the backyard of the Herb Brooks National Hockey Center, Will had an early taste of what the culture was for St. Cloud State hockey.
I think I remember coming watching the games, watching Husky, watching some of the older guys, come through the program, and it was always fun watching them when I was back in high school and seeing some big games here at the Herb, and it kind of shaped me in who I am today, and those players have been instrumental in helping shape the person that I am today.
After graduating from St. Cloud Cathedral High School, Will kept his talents in the Granite City. But for Hammer, it took some time to make his mark.
But Will has just become an anchor for this team, whether it's the penalty kill, whether it's face-offs, the ability to play against a 4th line or play against a 1st line if we need him to. He's brought so much value to this team over the last couple of years.
And that value will be deeply missed as Will moves on from St. Cloud State.
Stuck back into the border wall and wrap around a tip. Rebound. Vernon fights it off and it's in. Huskies get the goal.
Welcome back to Husky Faceoff. St. Cloud State fans are pumped and ready to go for puck drop as we inch closer to the start time of the Huskies and the Tigers. Fans, you have been loyal to this team all season long, and everyone in St. Cloud State Nation cannot wait to kick off Frozen Faceoff. The band is back to play for us in from the break. Take it away, guys. Welcome back inside the studio. I'm Nick Maxon, hosting today's Husky Faceoff, which wouldn't have been possible without the efforts and the support of the St. Cloud State Alumni Association. Fans, if one giveaway wasn't enough for you, get ready for our second giveaway brought to you by the Alumni Association. We want you to predict how many goals the Huskies will score against the Tigers today. If you guess correctly, you'll be entered in a lottery to win this SCSU t-shirt. Again, just a reminder, in order to be eligible to win, you must be a follower of the SCSU men's hockey Twitter account. So fans, get on it and share your prediction with the world. Making its debut for the first time this season, Off the Ice is back, and this time it will for sure be a good one, as there might be a heated rivalry in the mix too. Here we go.
Hello everyone, and welcome into a special edition of Off the Ice with Rachel Herzog, and joining me this week...
No.
What?
Pause.
What?
It's Off the Ice with Robbie J. It's always been Off the Ice with Robbie J. You told me it was Off the Ice with Robbie J.
Well, Robbie...
Since when? Since the show started.
Well, Robbie, I just want to say we actually asked Blake Lazat to be here this week, but he has a game with the Kings tonight, and we knew you'd be available, so thanks for being here with us today. All right, okay, well, I'll start first, and then you can ask some questions. Can we at least agree on that?
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, I'll start. All right, so my first question for you is, since you graduated, 12 years ago, everybody wants to know what you've been up to lately since you graduated.
I'm playing with St. Louis's American League team right now. It's in Utica. Yeah, I'm out here in beautiful New York. We just played last night, so.
I wanted to kind of touch back in St. Cloud when you played here. What would you say your favorite memory is from being a Husky?
Man, honestly, my entire senior year, and you can honestly couple that with my junior year too. So just my upperclassmen years, the teams that we had, we were so dominant on the ice, obviously, but we were really the most tight-knit group. Yeah, my upperclassmen years as a whole.
So what does it mean to you to be an SCSU alum?
Oh, it means everything. It means the world. Just kind of like my path in life and hockey, and say, hey, if you could go back and do it over, what would you change in your hockey career, your choices, all that, and wouldn't change a thing. Wouldn't change where I played, how I got there, when I came into St. Cloud, nothing. I was blessed to be a Husky and blessed to spend the 4 years that I did there.
And I'm sure when you think back on your times as a Husky, you think of all the highlights. But can you tell me what the most embarrassing moment on the ice was for you when you played here?
So it was my senior year. Benson scored, and it was early in the year, and I was next to him on the bench. And I was like, yeah, Benson, attaboy, I gave him nucks. He's like, yeah, Benson, nice goal, whatever. And he's looking this way and just looks past me and is talking, and I'm like.
All right, well, that's all I have for you. I guess I will turn over the hosting position to you.
All right, first question. Out of all of the teammates.
Robbie. By the looks of my watch, it looks like we're out of time for this week. So I'm going to have to cut you off here.
I know you're not doing this to me right now.
I absolutely have to. I'm sorry. We only have a certain amount of time. So that's just it. That's what we got to go with.
This is just a classic show of the Bush League that is Off the Ice with Rachel Herzog. It will forever be Off the Ice with Robbie J.
Well, we're going to tune that out, but thank you everyone for joining us on this special edition of Off the Ice with Rachel Herzog, and I guess Off the Ice with Robbie Jackson, and hopefully we can do this again sometime soon.
Never again. Never agreeing to do anything with you ever again.
One of the Huskies that has been a standout this season is Easton Brodzinski, and he's today's player spotlight on Husky Faceoff. Easton led the Huskies this year in goal scoring with 11, and in addition to his 11 goals, Brodzinski has tallied 4 multi-point games, one of which that came against Colorado College. Back in February, Easton passed his Uncle Steve in career points scored as a Husky. He currently sits 4 points away from the century mark and is chasing his brother Johnny and father Mike for career points scored. For more on Brodzinski and his standout season, our very own Alex Cotter has the story.
Born in Blaine, Minnesota, Easton Brodzinski quickly found his love for hockey through his dad and his brothers.
I mean, I grew up in a hockey family. I mean, my dad played here at St. Cloud and then at the U of M too. So, I mean, it was kind of born into it, and I'm kind of glad we were. I mean, I have three brothers as well, so it was kind of easy finding partners to play with out on the pond every day.
From playing on the pond with his brothers in Blaine up to the big sheet in St. Cloud, Easton found his second family, his teammates.
The guys here are incredible. I mean, it's definitely a family here at St. Cloud, and then that's something that I cherish very much, and I mean, I don't take it for granted. I mean, every day I come in here with a smile on my face to see each and every single one of these guys.
With that smile on his face, he came into the Herb Brooks National Hockey Center ready to work and become one of the best players in the NCHC.
It's been really fun to see the growth. I think this year you're seeing the most complete Easton Brodzinski that's been here. He's playing the game the right way.
He's continued to grow. Like he's an offensive player who's scored a lot of big goals in his career as a Husky and been a part of a lot of great teams and a lot of wins. And he's been a big part of that. But his overall game is just continued to get better and better.
Brodzinski's future with the Huskies is uncertain, but his experiences with his teammates and his work ethic will help him no matter where he goes.
I mean, we'll see what happens after the year, and I mean, if I come back another year, I come back another year, and if I don't, I don't. I mean, it's just it's something that I'm not really thinking about too much. I would rather just focus on the season at hand. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Hey Huskies fans, it's now time to take a look back at the top 5 plays from this past season for Husky hockey. Our number 5 top play of the year, we throw it back to January 9th. The Huskies in a dogfight on the road against the University of Minnesota Duluth. This game would go into overtime scoreless, but Hobie Baker nominee Nick Perbix displays the silky mitts to beat Zach Stejskal. Huskies would take that game 1-0 in overtime, and they would go on to pick up the series sweep on the road. In at number 4, we turn the clock back to February 5th. Huskies were catching their stride against Western Michigan, and Easton Brodzinski was doing the same. This is a goal scorer's goal for the senior. That would be his 6th of the season. Easton would go on to score 5 goals in his next 5 games. The Huskies would go on to win 5-1 over the Broncos. Coming in at number 3, we stay in that same game against Western Michigan. Jami Kronila was earning his hustle points all game long. This time in the first period, he strips Michael Joyal in the neutral zone. He keeps with the play to put the puck past Alex Aslanitis in net for the Broncos. Jami would tack on one more later in this game as well. That would move his point total to 14. We go to senior night for our second top play of the year as David Rennick was standing on his head all game long, but no save was better than this one to keep Colorado College off the board in the second period. Rennick would go on to pick up the 4-0 win and a program best 11th shutout in his career after his efforts against CC. And our top play of the year comes from senior night once again, but this time it's the junior, Nolan Walker, making some noise. Huskies on the power play in the first period. Some beautiful zone time leads to an even more beautiful goal for the Anchorage, Alaska native. That would be the 8th goal on the season for Walker as he walks a pack of Tigers and Dominic Bassi en route to the 4-0 win against Colorado College.
A special alumni is back to make a guest appearance here in Husky Faceoff. Fans, let's take a look and see who it might be.
I'm back! Hello and welcome to another very unexpected episode of 2 Minute Minor with Katie Emmer. I sure am happy to be here at the Herb Brooks Center, and I'm so happy to assess this week's penalty to the associate head coach of the Huskies in his first season, Dave Shia.
Coach, if you're unfamiliar, I assess a 2-minute minor penalty, so you're stuck in the box with me. Of course at a safe distance here. We're gonna get to know you a little bit more. How does that sound?
What's the penalty for?
For growing up in North Dakota.
Wanting to hear just how your first season has gone so far here in the Granite City.
Oh, thanks for asking. You know what? It's been awesome. Obviously, an unusual season. The pandemic has been an ongoing thing. It changes week to week, day to day. It's hard to plan. But I think for me, this season's been great. We got a great group of kids. We got a great culture here, real family oriented. Glad we made the decision. Our family's finally making the transition into the schools.
You, of course, have a lot of experience on your resume as far as just being with other programs and being around them. That being said, what sets SCSU apart from programs in your past?
There are many different things there. Obviously, I've known Brett for a while, and when he reached out to us there, caught me off guard. You know, as I researched it and talked to a number of people, I've always thought of St. Cloud as a winning program, winning culture, great facilities, great hockey market here, a lot of great players within 1 or 2 hours, great state of hockey. So it checked off a lot of the boxes.
Minnesota Nice a real thing?
I think it's real, for sure. Everybody's friendly here. Everybody's real here. And they've been real welcoming, and that's all you can ask for, and our kids have certainly picked up on that.
What do you enjoy most about coaching?
Seeing the kids grow up and mature and turn into young men, and actually seeing them have success on the ice, obviously. A big part of it, obviously, is teaching them, making sure we maximize the potential they have, but it's that process of seeing them grow into young men and having success on the ice. It's just, I think that's the most rewarding part about it.
You're talking about seeing them grow. My next question refers to the alumni. I mean, here at St. Cloud State, how much do the alumni mean to the program?
I think it's outstanding. I got a chance to see it. They had probably been 3 alumni gatherings. It's a real tight-knit group, and they're proud. They're real proud of this program, and I think they're all waiting for that first national championship.
Yep, we all are, but as you mentioned, the passion in the community, the Husky passion is so strong among the alumni as well. Coach, thank you for serving your 2-minute minor penalty. We may have gone over a little bit, but this was good. It was nice to catch up with you and learn more about your first year here, and I wish you all the best moving forward and all the best in the upcoming weeks.
Thanks for having me.
Coming up on Husky Faceoff, everything you need to know on the Huskies matchup against the Tigers. Find out what to watch for and more. You won't want to miss it.
Before winning 2 state titles for St. Thomas Academy inside the Xcel Energy Center, Seamus Donahue found his love for the game outside on the pond.
I think it was just getting out on the pond. The game was something that I was always kind of attracted to. And, I remember my first pair of skates were way too big, so I'd wear a bunch of pairs of socks over the other ones, and that's just kind of where my love for hockey grew.
After high school, Seamus continued his hockey career at Michigan Tech until he found his new home at St. Cloud State.
Everyone here is so close, and it's really just a family, and we've all got each other's backs all the time, and everyone wants each other to succeed, and at the same time we're all pushing each other, and that's something that's really important. But that's kind of what this culture is built on, is we're all trying to be our best and get better every day, and it's a great spot to be.
Even before putting on the Cardinal and Black for the first time, coaches knew Seamus's leadership would be a great fit for the culture.
He's been a captain, and he was a captain at the junior level. He wore a letter out at Michigan Tech, and we knew that leadership and that veteran side to his game would transition to our program and obviously the NCHC very well. And
he's a mature kid, understands the game, does the right things on and off the ice. Obviously voted to be one of our team captains after being here a short time. I think that says a lot about who he is.
For only being here 1 season, Seamus has created some great memories that will last a lifetime.
I think that the things I'll remember the most is just being with the guys, whether it's road trips on the bus or out to eat. Just that time spent away from the rink or in the locker room.
St. Cloud became a second family for Seamus, and he strives to continue to play hockey for as long as he can.
Over to Jack Paling. And scores!
Huskies fans, make sure you follow Husky Athletics on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube to get up-to-date information on your favorite teams. And visit SCSUHuskies.com for exclusive content, schedules, and live streams for Husky Athletics.
Welcome back, St. Cloud State fans. We are moments away from puck drop, but before then, let's get you caught up on everything you need to know about the game between the Huskies and the Tigers. SCSU and CC will have the first game of the tournament. Surveying the rest of the bracket, UND will play Miami, Denver versus Omaha, and Western Michigan will battle Minnesota Duluth to finish out the first round. All teams are fighting to make it to the championship game, which is Tuesday, March 16th. When these two teams meet, history heavily favors the Huskies. SCSU has won 6 of the last 10 matchups, with the last loss to the Tigers coming in November of 2019. The Huskies hold the overall record against CC at 35-23-6. Flashing it back to the last time these two teams met was February 20th of this last year, and it was dominated by St. Cloud State. Easton Brodzinski started the scoring party, and Nolan Walker would add a power play goal in the first period to put the Huskies up by 2. After a scoreless second period, Kevin Fitzgerald pushed the lead to 3 in the third, and Easton Brodzinski would book in the scoring with the empty netter as the Huskies took the win 4-0. David Rennick made 22 saves in the game, picking up his 11th career shutout as well. Some things to keep your eye on this weekend. First, Easton Brodzinski is 4 points away from joining the 100-point club, and chances are high that the senior from Blaine can turn a dream into reality during this tournament. Secondly, when the Husky special teams are rolling, good things happen. The Huskies have a power play success rate of 22.8%, and St. Cloud State is 9-3-0 when they capitalize on the man advantage. SCSU has also scored a power play goal in each of their last 3 games. The leading power play goal scorer for the Huskies also happens to be their leading scorer, freshman Betty Mietnin. For more on the matchup against the Tigers, here is head coach Brett Larson.
It just kind of takes out that first round, right? Normally we'd have 2 out of 3 at home right now against Colorado College, and that's something you fight for all year. You don't get that luxury this year, and I think we all know that it's a COVID year. Not everything's going to be perfect, but I think the league did the best they could to give us the best opportunity to have a playoff, and that's the way it's going to be set up with the single elimination. One thing that we can't forget is CC came out and pounded us out there in the pod. Maybe a little bit of luck and coming back and winning that game after being down 3-0, win it in overtime. So CC's very capable of playing really good hockey. I don't want the guys to forget about that. Even in the game we played them here at home, it was a hard-fought game. We got an empty netter very late to seal the victory, but until then, that game could have gone either way. Our penalty kill stepped up for us big time in that game to keep us with a 2-goal lead. I think the guys realize that it's playoff hockey. CC's a very good team, well coached. And we're going to have to be, again, we're going to have to be at our best in all areas to come away with a chance to win.
That'll do it here in the studio on the campus of St. Cloud State University. This has been Husky Faceoff, powered by the SCSU Alumni Association. I'm Nick Maxon. Go Huskies.
This is a good hockey team. We've just got to keep up. There's been so much good history here. As a head coach, it hits you that you've got a big-time job, and I certainly don't want to let those guys down.
Here's Walker walking right in, works around Messi, scores! Getting an edge on Kaiser, forced in behind center, and in front, Brodzinski ends it!